If you are an AI semiconductor or tech investor, this past week was amazing, amazing. Unfortunately, it is just Sunday, and it seems like this week is going to be insane. On today's episode, I want to take a closer look at some things impacting the overall market. More importantly, three stocks that I believe could create a lot of volatility for AI, tech, and semiconductor investors. So let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right. So first thing I want to just look at is we do have a lot of earnings happening this upcoming week, right? Last week we had ASML, we had TSM. Now in the semiconductor and tech and AI investor we do have companies like Texas, like Lam Research, like Tesla, like SK Hynix, like BE Semiconductor reporting earnings, Intel. Right. And I do believe some of these are going to create Vertiv if you are following the AI data center space as well. I do believe a lot of these could create a lot of volatility for the market. Unfortunately, there's also other events happening. We can see right now, as I am recording, the Dow futures are down as Iranian war tensions continue to escalate, right? We ended Friday with one news. Now, over the weekend, we're getting something else. Things move quickly, so who knows where we might be tomorrow morning. Now, the first stock that I believe can kind of really impact your overall portfolio is Marvell, ticker MRVL. The stock is up a nice amount year to date, up roughly 56%. Luckily, this is a stock we've talked about here in the overall community. Now, with Marvell, what are we seeing? We are seeing more reports. We talked a little bit about it earlier this week, but we continue to see reports that Marvell is to build new AI chips for Google. This is the information reports. Now, based on this information, it's reported that Marvell is working with Google to create a few types of chips. One of the chips is a memory processing unit. I think we talked about that in the past, closer to a DPU, which is becoming very crucial right now in the AI ecosystem. And the second is another new type of TPU built specifically for running AI models. Now, the reason I believe this will add volatility to a lot of portfolios is when you hear news about a big tech company working on AI chips, you first start to have fear on companies like NVIDIA, companies like AMD that design GPUs. Then you also get a lot of fear on companies like Broadcom, right? Because Broadcom has a partnership with Google. So a lot of this creates just a lot of uncertainty and fears on a lot of the big names in the semiconductor and AI industry. Now, I've said this in the past. I believe the current supply shortage that we are in the chip market allows there to be multiple winners. It's not a binary, one winner takes it all. This is why we see Google buy NVIDIA chips. This is why we see Google work with Broadcom to make their own CPUs. And they recently announced a partnership to go even further than that, right? They extended their partnership to, I believe, 2031 or 2032. I don't remember the exact date, but we are so compute constrained that I think every big tech player is going to be working with everybody in one way or another to try to get more and more chips. Obviously, Google works with AMD to get CPUs. Will they get GPUs from AMD? It's not impossible. But news like this creates fear, where, in my opinion, it should create more of this solidification that the AI market is completely compute constrained. So that's the first stock. The second stock that I want to talk about is earnings, right? It's companies dealing with earnings. And the two companies that I believe are really going to move the market this week are going to be Intel, which reports on Thursday, April 23rd, and SK Hynix, which reports late Wednesday, April 22nd. So Wednesday and Thursday, I think, are going to be crucial, not just for SK Hynix investors, not just for Intel investors, but for the overall AI ecosystem and chip ecosystem. Because, right, SK Hynix is a crucial player in the memory space, a leader in the HBM market. Intel is one that's talking a lot about the CPU shortage. So both those companies can give us a lot of insight. I actually kind of created a nice amount of graphs here that we can look at into. Let's start off with Intel, right? Let's kind of look at this slideshow really quick for Intel that I've designed thanks to AI. But Q1 2026, right? There's a lot of things that happened. The company is up. The stock is up nearly 80% year to date. They do report on April 23rd. In the past year, in this year alone, right, we kind of had, they mentioned that they were going to repurchase their Apollo foundry, the 49%. They recently announced more that they're going to work with with Elon Musk for the Terafab. We haven't gotten information on that. Will we get more information during the earnings call? And again, we're kind of getting this overall bullish sentiment in the CPU space and the CPU shortage. I mean, one of the again, I think terafabs is going to be one of the biggest things to kind of look into for the upcoming earnings, right? Tesla and Elon kind of talked about this, that this was a $25 billion joint venture starting off. They're targeting 1 terawatt of AI compute annually. How does Intel play into this? If they can give us some form of information, that would be crucial. The other thing, right? We saw them that they are going to buy back their ownership in Apollo Ireland repurchase, right? Apollo had 49% in a fab. They're repurchasing this. We know that now that the overall CPU shortage is insane. It's completely insane. But want to hear more clarity from management. What is the supply looking like? What is their wafer output looking like? Are they getting even probably more potential customers in the foundry side because of some of this shortage happening in the industry? Would love to hear what's happening here for Intel. And here with kind of the CPU shortage, why is there a CPU shortage? Right now, or just maybe a few months ago, the CPU to GPU ratio in AI data centers was 1 to 4 or 1 to 8, right? Around there. Now with agentic workloads, and we've talked about this a lot in the overall past few episodes, the agentic workload creates almost a 1 to 1 CPU to GPU ratio or 1 to 2, regardless. Even if you go 1 to 2, this is creating a massive, massive need for CPUs. We're seeing CPUs being sold out. So players are winning right now. So there's a lot of other charts, and all these other charts you will be able to find at whatthechipHappened.com, right? I don't want to bore you, but if you are a serious semiconductor and AI investors, if you're curious about exclusive live streams, deep dives on earnings, conference coverages, check out whatthechipHappened.com. Now, the other slide I have here is for SK Hynix, right? For SK Hynix, again, this is a big, big company in the memory market. And we know memory is completely sold out. We just want to hear more clarification. I mean, we just heard it from Micron a few months ago, but hearing more clarification here from SK Hynix would be crucial, right? Because then we can connect a lot of dots together. One of the big things for SK Hynix and for the memory space, for SK Hynix, right? We heard that they're going to be doing ADR filing for trading here in the United States stock market. We also saw that Samsung released their HBM4. What does that have to do with the overall market dynamics? How does that change, right? Long-term agreements are happening in the memory space. What is that doing with pricing and volume? How is CapEx moving along, right? When should we see more and more memory come out? And at the moment, how long should we maintain kind of a flat sales on actual volume? But what we're seeing right now is revenue increasing because average selling prices are increasing. So a lot of those questions, right? Kind of hearing how the market is, dynamics, just another data point is crucial for the overall industry. Let me just say, I don't think we're going to be surprised on the downside. I think for AI and semiconductor investors, you're just going to hear a lot and a lot more bullish news for the long side of things. Now, quarter revenue, because this is a South Korean company, it's not in US dollars, but they do expect a 48% sequential growth. That is crazy, a 48% sequential growth versus quarter 4, which quarter 4 was crazy for them, completely crazy. Now, there are some whisper numbers that actually believe it's going to be more of a doubling versus a quarter ago, which again is completely insane. But the overall industry in the memory space is hitting records every quarter. When is the quarter that we're not going to hit records anymore? I think that's what might create some fears in memory investors, but I don't think it's going to be this one, and I don't think it's going to be the next one. Now, remember, a lot of the revenue growth is more coming from average selling price increasing and not necessarily for more volume. They are sold out. They're building 100% capacity. The next question is, when does more capacity turn online? These are two players that, again, I believe can really impact the overall AI industry. And I will be looking at all this in this overall channel, right? So make sure to stay tuned. And if you have any thoughts on what the AI market or some other companies we should keep a closer eye on, let me know in the comments below. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.